Good early afternoon, everybody. It is Wednesday or Wednesday or Odin's depending on where you're from or how you look at the calendar. It's the 7th. It is about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We had a late start. I slept until 11:30. Wow. I haven't done that in I don't know how long. I guess my body needed the rest because it's been one of those weeks that has been very hectic. First off, let me apologize to everybody for not putting in a lot of videos lately. I have been very busy with life, between work life, home life, and just general life. That and a factor, I did try to do a couple of videos, and when I saw the time slot of how long they were, I'm like, no, let's try to either do a bunch of little videos to break it up. I had trouble with the editing, lost the footage, and went, okay, fine. Wednesday I have my day off. I'm going to concentrate on this. Today we're going to be doing a lot of little stuff around the house. Laundry, which has always been done on my first day off. Later on this evening, hopefully when the weather clears up, because the weather is supposed to be nasty all day long until 6, 7 p.m., we're going to run out and do a grocery pickup, medicine pickup from CVS, and maybe just, a few other little things that we've either wanted or need around the house. It's Wednesday. Because it's Wednesday, my local liquor store has what they call Whiny Wednesday, and I go in there and pick out a bottle or two of mead to last me a week or two for half price, which is great because not that I drink a lot, it's just some days, and I needed it this week and didn't have it, but there are some days that are just so nerve-wracking that I need a little something to bring me off the edge of insanity. And my wife knows that I do not drink in excess, so she's happy to allow me to have a glass of mead or a shot, however you want to call that much, of mead. I have a wine glass. I think I showed it to you guys once. And on the wine glass, it has 3 different levels. And it's like good day, bad day, don't ask. Usually it does not go above bad day. Sometimes it's in between good and bad day because that's how my days seem to be lately. But I kind of need the mead because of what's going to happen in the next couple of days. I have today and tomorrow off. But here's the proverbial kick in the pants. And I may or may not have to go in to help for an hour or so tomorrow. We have buku catering orders. Basically, we have 3 catering orders tomorrow. One of them due at 11:30, the other one due at like 12:30, and then the third one due 6 p.m. Then we have a catering order, or we have 1 or 2 catering orders on Friday. I will be there for that. Then we have 3 to 4 catering orders for Saturday. We have a catering order for Sunday. We have a catering order for Monday. And then Tuesday, I think, is the only day in the next 5 days that we do not have a catering order. We sat down and calculated that we made almost $3,000 in the 5 days worth of catering. Yeah, $3,000 from just catering orders. So it's like, okay, the money's worth it, but man, that's going to be a pain in the booty. So I'm looking at the possibility of having overtime, plus needing the meat just to bring me off of the ledge. I know that sounds bad, but like I said, I do not drink in excess. I do not consume a bottle of wine in a sitting. A bottle of mead can last me a week or more, depending on how bad the week is. Other than that, from work has been fine. I have not have had very little to no issues. In fact, yesterday I closed, and we did not have a dinner rush. In fact, for the most part, Tuesday was quieter than normal. So was Monday, and I kind of assumed that it was because of the fact that it was the weekend after Easter, and everybody's either spent their budget for going out to eat. That in fact, it was the Monday was the first day after spring break for Rolla. So I was also kind of like, okay, weekend after Easter, all the kids are coming back from their spring break. Nobody has money. Well, Monday we had we hosted an event. It was for the city of Rolla, and basically it was kind of like a campaign type thing for one of the candidates for, I don't know if she was running for mayor, but she was running for city council. And they had in Facebook, they had this thing where it's like between the hours of 1 and 3, come to Dickey's, get a free lunch on the candidate, basically, or on whoever decided to prepay for the event. And basically what it was, you can come in, you get a 2-meat plate, your choice of pulled pork or chicken. You can either double to the chicken or double the pulled pork, 2 sides and a drink, no cost. We had maybe 1 or 2 people who came in during that time frame that did not come in for the free lunch, and they wanted a specific food item, and they had to pay for their meal. And I thought, oh my goodness, we're going to get swamped. It's going to be like chaos. We had maybe, well, the manager was saying that we're going to have at least, that we could have up to 180 people. But if we got above 30, I didn't keep track. So it's like we didn't have that many people come in. And most of the people who came in that were either part of the candidate's group, family or political people, they didn't even count to 20. So Monday was a slow day. They sent me home early, by about 2 hours, which I didn't care because I had already gotten about an hour and 10 minutes overtime from Sunday because somebody didn't show up for work. If I did not call Randy to come back and just tell my wife that I was going to stay the whole night, it would have been like 4 to 5 hours worth of overtime for Sunday. You're only allowed, as a worker, not a manager, you're only allowed 6 hours work a day. Sunday I worked almost 7.5 hours. So yeah, I had my overtime that way. Yesterday was pretty slow, so we closed down early. We closed down early for 2 different reasons. Not only because it was slow, but the assistant manager, who has been basically overworked. She's literally getting 13 plus hours overtime a week, because of the fact that she works 6 days a week, and she practically does everything. Not because of the fact that the GM does not know what he needs to do as a GM. It's a combination of he wasn't properly trained. Excuse me, I have a itch in my back. He wasn't really trained to the fullest to be the GM by the previous owner, or the other owner who is no longer with us. It's also like he doesn't want to learn it. And I'm like, really? So you don't want to learn how to do the schedule? You don't want to learn how to do the catering stuff? You don't want to learn how to do certain things with the computer, things like that? So the assistant manager has basically had all this stuff pushed on her, which was, she already had it pushed on her back before Christmas, because the other manager, the person who was in the store the most, combination of family dynamics and her husband had started a used car lot dealership that was doing really good. So she opted, so something happened and she decided to basically quit and dump everything. Basically, she got out of the partnership. She left everything on the owner. A lot of different things that I just try not to get into because it's just too much drama. But I feel for my assistant manager because the fact that she literally had been left with running the store, doing the money, doing the scheduling, doing the catering orders. Um, the Before the other manager left, the other manager would come in like maybe a couple hours, 2 or 3 days out of the week, mostly to come in and make sure everything was being done right. Not that she didn't trust anybody, but she just wanted to double check, make sure there was no problems, make sure the order for the store was done properly, things like that. And we got dumped. We got a lot of stuff dumped on us, left on us to either figure out on our own, or the assistant manager already had enough working knowledge to make do. So there was a lot of different dramatic things that happened back in late February, early March, I think. No, it had to be early February, late February, because by the time St. Patrick's rolled around, that's when things kind of went into a chaotic tailspin. We're still trying to iron out stuff. I also found out yesterday that because one of our workers is basically the beginning of May, basically at this coming week, I think is his last official week. He's basically leaving to go back home to Washington, Missouri. I'm going to end up having to work 6 days a week. So I will end up getting buku overtime. And I'm like, either A, I'm going to get buku overtime, or there's going to be a lot of days that either A, I'm going to get sent home early, or B, I'm going to only be working a short shift, like 4 or 5 hours, just to make sure I have 30 or less hours a day. Well, no, because if I work 6 days, so 6 days times 5, that's 30. So 5 hours a day. And I'm like, okay, but I can guarantee you this much. When I'm not on the clock, I might not react to phone calls or text messages. Because that means I have 1 day a week to do my laundry, do my running around, spend time with my wife. Which also may make it harder for me to do videos, but I'm thinking to myself, well, I usually get my schedule a week in advance. Or not a week in advance. Like my schedule for next week, I should be able to go into work either today or tomorrow if I wanted to and check out the schedule and see if it's up. It's one of those things, you know. I'm quite flexible and I don't mind doing the work. It's just, one, I will not let myself be run ragged by my job. There are days that I'm already feeling like I get run ragged because certain people at my job either wants to just stand around and watch while other people do the work, or, you know, only want to do the register. They don't want to do actual work. They don't want to, you know, run around crazy like everybody else does. We already got rid of one person for that. There's a second person who basically, because of Sunday, they were a no-show, no-call, even though one of the co-workers was in communication with that person via text messaging. That's not how you do it. If you're not going to show up to work, you call the store or you call a manager to say, hey, look, I can't make it for whatever reasons. In my book, if you're doing something like that, it's still a no-show, no-call if you don't call the store. And being as this person wants to come in hour and a half to 2 hours late, and then bolt out the door before the store is actually done closing, leaving one person to basically do all the closing work. They literally want to walk out of the store half an hour early. And I'm like, well, first off, you're coming in 2 hours late, and then you want to leave half an hour late, so you're cutting yourself down to maybe 2.5 hours worth of legitimate work. Why are we keeping you? Well, the only reason why we're really keeping the person right now is because we kind of need them. But we've already cut down his hours again. So instead of him working 15 to 16 hours, he'll be lucky to get 12 hours. So basically, like, our closing is 9 p.m. We usually had him coming in at 3. Well, he's decided to stop. He's decided to basically lie to say that the assistant manager who makes the schedule told him he can come in late. I don't see how that happened, because she's usually not around when he comes into work. She's usually gone by then. So it's one of those things where it's like, if I was a manager, if I was part of the firing personnel, I'd basically give him a choice: show up on time or don't show up at all. Consider yourself fired. But that's me. Because I'm sorry, my job needs reliable people. He's not a reliable person. But I try not to worry about it on a regular basis. The only reason why I'm bringing it up because I'm talking about work. Let's see here. Today, let's focus on today. Since I stopped itching my dang chin. Today is a gloomy day. It's overcast. They're threatening from any time now, basically from about 3 o'clock to about 6 o'clock, 3 hours worth of high winds, heavy rain, and thunderstorms. I have 2 trees in my yard. One of them that I can see from my living room looks like it's dying, but it still every year blooms. It always, every year, since we thought it started to die, was blooming. This other one out here, which has got bark falling off, it's got limbs falling off every time it blows hard enough, and I worry about it because we had 2 trees out there when we moved in that looked like they were not going to last very long. One of them has basically sheared itself in half and fallen down onto the ground and left a stump. The one next to it, before it fell down, started to look like it was going to not last much longer either. And we've tried to call people to come out to look at our yard to help us clear out the dead tree and clear out the stuff so we can keep this one big tree that's outside my bedroom window from getting whatever has caused these two to basically deteriorate. What I'd like to do if I had the money, but most of my money had gone to bills, I'd like to clear out the dead ones, these 2 dead ones, and plant a vibrant living one to basically help shade my house. Because this front area, this room and my bedroom is south facing, which means it is the warmest part of the house all year round. Even in the middle of winter time, our bedroom is the outside weather can be in the minus degrees, and my bedroom will be like 30 degrees if it's sunny. During the summertime, I'm probably going to have to get a fan in this room. I've got this little itty bitty rechargeable one that looks like I need to try to find a way to clean it. Okay, it's got two little screw, 2, 3, 6 little screws to undo so I can clean out the dust and whatnot from the or maybe I can get just something in there to stick in there and clean it out. Maybe a pipe cleaner or something like that. But I have a feeling come the warmer time of the year, I'm going to be sweltering in here trying to do whatever. I have sat down with my schedule and tried to pre-plan time frames coming here to do videos on a daily basis. That way I don't have an hour-long video to cover a week's worth of time or a week's worth of thoughts. But today is we're gonna do laundry. We're gonna try to run out and after the storms pass, we have a 7 p.m. grocery pickup. I already said what we needed to do today. Pick up meds and other stuff. But Jerry and I kind of pre-planned yesterday to run out and go shopping, go out and do stuff. Woke up this morning at 11:30, 11 o'clock, whatever time she woke up, because I think she was up before me, and she just didn't feel like doing it. Well, I don't blame her, because I mean, I look outside and I'm like, ugh. What all can I or can I not do because of the weather? Now, we can do whatever we want to do inside. In fact, if it's the type of rainstorms I enjoy, which is like heavy, powerful rain and lightning and whatnot and thunder and whatnot, it gives me energy. But if it's just a dreary, drizzly, wet day where there's no heavy rain or no powerful winds or powerful electrical energy in the air, I just kind of like, ugh. Man, I just want to crawl back in bed. If it wasn't for the fact of the bed, being in the bed for too long hurts my back, I'd be doing that. I mean, a good thunderstorm hopefully without tornado, because they're talking about possible tornadoes, and I'm like, hey, no. It gives me energy, but it also makes me like, so the weather today is, high chances of rain. Tomorrow is a lower chance of rainstorms and whatnot, so hopefully tomorrow Jerry will feel up to doing some of the projects we keep on pushing back. And a lot of times the projects get pushed back because one or both of us just don't feel it. We just don't feel like, we just can't bring ourselves to do the projects. But we have a list of projects. I love to find that list again so I can start crossing stuff off or whatnot. But we have she has, because she's got a better mental capacity than I do. We have a mental list of things that we want to get accomplished around the house. And it's a combination of either A, I'm waiting for her to feel up to doing it, or B, she's waiting for me. It's one of those give and take things. But our major necessity chores like laundry always gets done. I can't show up to work with blue jeans and a work shirt that is stained with mustard or brisket or pulled pork juices or rub, whatever. It does not look good. That in fact, I hate that. I mean, there are weeks, not days, but there are weeks I come home from work and I'm like, I just put these pants on this morning and I've got mustard and brisket rub or pork butt juices stained all over my pants. I'll take them off and throw them in the laundry and pull out a new pair of jeans. I only have 4 pairs. And if I start working 5 to 6 days a week, that's going to be like, I might have to go out and buy another pair of blue jeans just for work. But then I see some of the stuff that other people wear, and I'm like, well, I do have black work pants from when I was working at the deli or at Casey's or, other jobs. So I can easily wear one of my old work pants one day and not have to worry about it. And that's the thing. One of the projects we are talking about doing is going through and do the downsizing of clothing that I try to do every spring, because every year I go through all my clothes and I'm like, okay, I got new shirts, I got new pants. I need to decide out of all my old clothes what I want to keep and what I don't want to keep. Me being the child of the military, where every 3 years we're moving someplace new, I didn't have a lot. My clothes when I was growing up consisted of the equivalency of 7 to 8 days worth of clothing. In other words, if you were to change your clothes every day, which is kind of what I was raised to do, by the time laundry day rolled around, you had one pair of clothes for the day left. That includes basically changing every day, changing your underwear, your socks, your pants, your t-shirt, your pajamas. You had a set for every day. And at the end of the week, you had one set left for the day. And that was when laundry day occurred. Now I have one drawer totally full of t-shirts. And another drawer full of underwear and socks. Basically, I have a dresser with, let me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drawers. Each of those, 6 of those drawers are full of clothes of one form or another. One drawer is basically an oddball drawer, and it's got like various non-clothing but accessory type stuff, like the hats that I wear. I have a couple extras, and they're in that drawer. I have a couple extra belt pouches that I wear on a regular basis, because I don't like putting my wallet in my back pocket for 2 reasons. One, sitting on it the wrong way on a trip hurts. So I don't like driving with my wallet in my back pocket. That, in fact, of the pouch is designed with 3 pockets, so it holds my reading glasses, my wallet, my phone, and a pen, a writing utensil or 2. So that one extra drawer out of the 7 drawers is basically, accessories. It's got a couple of my somebody calls it a golfer's hat because of the way it's designed, and most golfers wear that hat, but it's a I forgot the name of it, but it folds up nicely. So it collapses and folds up nicely, so I can stack a couple of them in that drawer. Why I have so many, I don't know, because I will wear one all year round until I'm not happy with it. But I've got a couple of different colors, and I'm thinking maybe I should be like summertime wearing the tan one, wintertime either wearing the black or the red one. I think that's what the colors I still have. I know I gave 1 or 2 of them away because like I had too many of them, and I'm like, I'm not gonna wear all these. Why did I get so many? Probably because the factor 2 of them, or 4 of them I should say, came in a package deal where you buy one get one free or something like that. And I went, let's do that. I used to in my younger days wear baseball caps. I don't like baseball caps anymore. The only one I wear 9 times out of 10 is just my work hat to and from work. And when I get home, if I go someplace else, I put on my golf, what I'm just gonna call it, a golfer's hat. I don't play golf, but I like the look, the design, the feel. course, I've been told one of the biggest reasons why I'm going bald so young is because I wear hats all the time. And I'm like, no, no. I know it's genetics. I know it's genetics because my cousin, or a couple of my cousins here in Missouri, wear baseball caps all the time. And they're slightly older than I am, and they still got a full head of hair. See, I've got this front area. Surprisingly, I've got this like tuft of hair here in the middle. But if I were to remove the tuft of hair, if you would look, it looks like almost a horseshoe pattern on the top of my head. My grandpa April, our grandpa Henson, I'm looking at his photo or his painting of a photo, and he does not have the tuft of hair in the middle, but he's got like a horseshoe pattern of baldness. He's got all the hair here. My grandpa April has a receding hairline. I have a patch here in the back of my head on the crown area that's balding. My father had that, so I know that my hairline and whatnot is a genetic issue, not I wore hats too much. So it's one of those things where it's like, I know why I have the hair pattern or the hair issue. That's genetics. There's a lot of things I know about myself that I know is genetics. It's not because of something I did or did not do in the past. The one thing that I know is, well, I don't know if it's genetics or not, because my father, as far back as I can remember, my father had partial dentures top and bottom. My mom had full dentures top and bottom. So part of that is genetics. So part of my teeth issue is genetics. Part of it is the fact that one, as a younger person, I loved my sweets. I loved candy, especially chocolate. Now, I don't know any individual person who does not like chocolate unless you're deathly allergic to chocolate. But when we got to Germany in the 80s and I discovered German chocolate, not only just dark chocolate, but the white chocolate, Nutella, the German Easter egg type thingies with a toy in it that had a dark chocolate outer shell and a white chocolate inner shell. But if you ever had the pleasure of having truly European chocolate, I don't mean the stuff that we get here in the States, but I mean stuff directly from the countries. I can't remember the name of the particular chocolate, but it was like you take just a chunk of that chocolate, because the way it's broken up. Don't just put it in your mouth and chew it up and swallow it, but I mean put it in your mouth and just let it sit there and melt in your mouth. It's like, I think I've just had a glimpse of heaven type feeling. And when the French say that chocolate is an aphrodisiac, I was too young to understand what that meant, but just the how would I describe it? To describe it as an adult would be the euphoric just pleasure of the taste and the texture and all the elements of European chocolate. We don't have anything here in America that comes close to a piece of chocolate from Germany, especially because I've never had any of the chocolates from. No, I did have some chocolate. Somebody had some chocolate that I got to sample from Switzerland, but here in America, it's not about the texture or the taste or how it affects the palate. It's more about getting people to eat the chocolate, not enjoying it. Most Americans don't enjoy foods. I mean, they don't take the pleasure of just taking in all the smell, all the flavors, the textures. Most Americans just shovel the food down their throat and be done with it. But there are certain foods out there that are meant to be just savored and enjoyed, and taking your time to enjoy it, which is actually kind of goes along with the Scandinavian hygge. Hygge is not just about food; it's about enjoying the food, enjoying the company, enjoying the flavors, being alive, allowing the flavors of the food to exhilarate your lifestyle, your life, your well-being. Hygge is kind of like a kind of almost all-encompassing. It's about food. It's about pleasure and enjoyment of life. It's about doing things that brings you joy. It's about letting the stresses of life just melt away as you enjoy company of friends and food and drink and the outdoors. That's kind of like what Hygge is all about. It's the enjoyment of life and everything that life can bring to you that brings you pleasure. And for me to live a Hygge lifestyle, food, good, really, really good food that I enjoy and I savor. And that's one thing I would definitely agree with. The company of friends and family, I have to say that that would be a difficult one for me because I've become such okay. I've become such a I don't want to say a recluse, but people can annoy me. And even my own family can be, well, even my own in-laws can be very annoying. I mean, yes, I do get along with Janie and Alicia because I don't know if it's a separation or distance or time or whatnot, but the last time um, we were together, me, Jerry, Jane, and Alicia were together. They weren't annoying. It's my sister-in-law. Oh my goodness, I can't remember now. My sister-in-law Julie and my brother-in-law Lucky. I can tolerate them, but they don't really bring anything that I would consider Hygge to my life. It's been a long time. Well, that impacted my aunt Sue. I do understand she's up there in her 80s and whatnot, but there are times where it's just kind of like. So the only reason why you wanted us to come down here to your place is because you needed something. You couldn't get somebody locally to come do it for you. Yeah, I can understand you're trying to, watch your expense account and whatnot, and we'll come down and do it for free. But I don't want to come to St. Louis to visit her just because she wants something. She wants Jerry to work on her computer because she doesn't know what she's doing with the computer. She wants me to deal with her with lighting problems or plumbing problems or things like that, because I'm like, I'm not a plumber. I don't know nothing about plumbing. Oh, okay, so you want me to pour this special chemical down your drains to help keep them clean. Well, you don't have a septic system, so you don't need. She's gotten products that are like for septic systems. I'm like, you don't have a septic system. You don't need these products. You shouldn't have bought it. I know a lot of places in the Midwest have septic units, but usually those are private houses that are out in the country and aren't connected to the city's main sewer lines. But still, it's like, okay. Now, I can understand some of the things like changing some of her light bulbs because I don't want to say she's deathly afraid of heights, but I think what it is with her age and whatnot, she's more afraid of being off balance, falling down, hurting herself, and not having anybody to come rescue her. That's why one of those things why I keep on saying you need to get yourself a life alert system. You need to get this. You need to get certain things that will help you out. You know, either that or you need to. I hate to say it to her, but with her getting up in age and her having difficulties one form or another, I think she needs to. We've been trying to get her to move to our area and get her moved into like an assistant living home. But she was like, well, I don't want to do that because I want my independence, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, there are assistant living housing out there where you have your own apartment, you have your own little bungalow or whatever you want to call it. And it's set up where they have an emergency service system where you can pull a cord or whatnot, and they'll come out to check you out, or you pick up the phone and call the main building and they'll have somebody come out to help you with whatever. There's not a nurse or somebody basically sitting at your bedside or sitting at your side 24/7 dictating what you need to do. No, it's an independent living system with people on premise that can come and help you if you have an emergency or you need something. That in a factor, if you live closer to us, it's not like we're having to drive an hour and a half to 2 hours to come help you. I love my family, I really do. Just sometimes there are little things that just kind of go, really? Really? You needed us out here for this? Yes, there are sometimes I go out there and help her out begrudgingly, but I still do it. I might grumble under my breath, like, really, I have, but I still do it. Anyhow, I'm gonna cut this one off, and I will try to do a second half just to continue it, maybe. If I don't, it is what it is. But anyhow, if you enjoyed this conversation, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and put them in the question comment box. I will deal with them as soon as I can. If you're new to my channel and you want to subscribe, which is up to you. I mean, this video is just kind of a mishmash. Go ahead and subscribe. I won't guarantee anything, but I will tell you that if you're a new subscriber, go back and watch some of my older videos. I do talk about different things in life, religion, weather, nature, what I feel, what I believe. I even talk about Norse mythology if you're interested in that stuff. I'll try to properly label each of these videos to, especially if it's on a specific subject. So if you choose to subscribe, go ahead and click the subscription button, and then there'll be a little bell pop up. Click on that bell, and YouTube will let you know when I put in a new video. So until next time, have a good day. Bye.